Testing. So, what I want to talk about right now is that the coronavirus, Wu flu, or novel 19, whatever the fuck they call it now. I like to call it coronavirus. Um, it's a SARS virus, and the disease is the coronavirus, I believe is how they state it. I've been watching Dr. John Campbell. He is very informative. He seems like he's a real doctor. He goes through the daily stats of who's got what, where, how many are dead, how many recovered, taking the information from the Chinese, also world organizations and stuff like that. He made a video today where he essentially kind of rage stopped the video. Not really, I'm exaggerating, but what he did was just basically turn it off, and he was just seemed very pissed off, because he just basically, I'll just break it to you right now, he labeled the coronavirus spread as a pandemic. I had that cough for a little effect. Everyone has colds and coughs, and I'm starting to get scared about that, paranoid. Could be just, and the symptoms are so similar to just common cold, flu, whatever. That's hard to, distinguish. Okay, so the situation as it stands, I've been waiting to do a video on this for a while, but I just thought, other people are covering it. It's not the topic that necessarily want to encourage. You'll look like a fear monger. But I like to keep track of these things, like what's the status of the world. And me living in the Bay Area, that has a lot of Chinese people here. And it's not even the build a railroad Chinatown ones, from southern China, or Hong Kong dissidents, I think they came over too. It's the new ones, it's the nouveau riche, it's the factory owners, the communist leader, rich kids, I live in a place where there's still a few. They're kind of, I think they went to school, came here to go to school, lived in my apartment. There's like Lamborghinis, they drive Lamborghinis, buy all the name brand clothing and stuff. They have a little bit of money to burn since everything's made in China, sent back here. They're rich. So anyway, they're here. They're. I mean, those guys are, Ralph Lauren cool or whatever. It's not a problem. They're friendlier than. I like rich people with money. They're more mellow. They can do what they want. They don't have to worry about things. That's a nice persona to be around. But what you do have, and you also have some assholes too, like condescending, egotistical, mainly never mind. So what we have here is a situation in my area, and spreading. It's a pandemic. He called it a pandemic. The WHO, World Health Organization, Dr. John Campbell has basically said this guy is not really, he's downplaying it. He says we're at a point where, I think he quoted him something around something like, this is maybe at the point where it's not stoppable. So they're downplaying it. That is, I don't know if they're connected to the United Nations, but they're definitely connected to, I'm not going to say the term, people of the world who are in power, the leadership. And of course they don't want a pandemic. It will come out later. A panic. I kind of want a pandemic. I pretty much can use less people around. Stop coming to America. Stop, some can come. But, this land is our land. We killed the Indians for a reason. Just playing. Yeah. So here we are, and if you're Chinese and you drive a Lambo, yeah, hit me up. We can be friends. Tesla or something too. That's fine. I don't discriminate. So we have okay. So Italy has cases. The most worrying of the John Campbell video. Just go watch that one. It's only 12 minutes. And all the others. I don't really know his background. I just started watching him because he seemed to have the most credible information daily. He's a doctor. He's British. All those kind of things I can trust. Yeah. And so anyway, so Italy's got a bunch of cases, and that is not good. Is it from that? I think there was a cruise ship that maybe docked there. And we're getting to these more packed European cities, countries. Oh my! Like imagine going to London, or I don't know, like Rome or something, or I don't know how packed elbow to elbow people are, but I know like in San Francisco, when you go to bar, you're next to each other, you're close, you're breathing all the air. It's filthy in San Francisco. That's another topic, but let's keep it on this. Is basically, it's spreading. It's made it to Europe. Yeah, we can look at it as in China, like, oh yeah, that sucks. Don't eat bats. That's your fucking fault. Yeah, maybe, and they will probably start learning about viruses. It's like their what's that lady that the Americans Typhoid Mary moment. It's the Wuhan wet market moment where they're gonna learn what a virus is when they're dying and dead, and their families are dying and dead, and they've had gallons of mucus pouring out of their lungs. They're gonna understand what a virus is. They're gonna have to catch up on that and stop being so quaint and eating pandolins or whatever and weird shit. You can continue with the frogs, but let's keep it in check here. The Japanese eat weird shit, but at least they're sanitary. I think they learned. They're very sanitary, but that's what's surprising. Maybe the ship, the cruise ship, they didn't want any of those people on board, but it was unfortunate. 2 of the deaths were Japanese people, because what that cruise ship was affected around the Japanese port. If you didn't know, it actually just circles the Japanese islands, ports all over the place, and then returns. So it's just a little. I actually might want to take it because you can go all around Japan, see all the different ports. Be kind of fun to take a cruise on a ship like that. That's famous. But anyway, they probably didn't want to deal with it. But I was going to say that they're generally pretty hygienic when it comes to food. They wash their hands thoroughly when they're doing their sushi and all that kind of stuff. They seem kind of, and they're one of these countries that has masks on their face when they walk around. And for that reason is they don't want to get other people sick, I believe. I'm sure there's paranoids in there too, but I think the principal reason they wear face mask coverings is because they don't want to. They're conscientious enough to, if they have to go out, to protect others. So, but anyway, I'm walking right now. So, so anyway, there's a pandemic going off, and it's hit Italy. I was gonna say Iran has a big deal going on, and Iran. Dr. John Campbell said that there's like 50 people infected, and a few are dead already. And the reports, he's getting personal reports sent in from not media news. That's what happens when you have a good YouTube channel. You can get information before others. And they're telling him that people are going terminal really quickly, and it's kind of unnerving. And what else? Oh, the source of the contagion is what is it? It's a whatchamacallit, sorry, I'm avoiding cars here. Uh, it was a Chinese construction worker who happened to, well, Chinese are building everywhere, and they're starting to contaminate people. And I thought that would happen, and that also makes me think that China, if one person went all the way went home from China, flew over, contaminated the whole country, what are the chances of that? That people have been saying that, like, look, the contagion is way more prevalent than media, reports are letting on. And we all know this. How are we going to all test someone? All these people, maybe they don't even want to be tested at this point because they're afraid of the government in China. But anyway, so the Chinese are spreading because they're octopus everywhere. Their tentacles are in Africa. I even know people who are working in the industry in Africa here, but they're based in America, to build the infrastructure out there. And they live in all these Western states of America, Canada, Vancouver, everywhere. Europe even. It's weird to see Chinese people in Europe. They weren't there before. They had that odd Chinese restaurant, but they're spreading everywhere. And it's going to hit, it's no longer the face of the flu. The corona flu is no longer Asian. We can't just look at an Asian and go, oh, or, let's not stay away. You have to look at everyone now, because in Italy, they have them. San Francisco has a ton of Italian tourists. I don't know why, but they're all, tons of them. I would say 80% of them. When I go down to the wharf area, 80% are Italians. Used to be Japanese, used to be Chinese. Now they just live here. But now those people are visiting. It's probably the farthest place they can get in America, more exotic to them. But anyway, it's Europe. I mean, once it hits Europe, I don't know. And so it's time. That's pretty much. I don't go too crazy on my, subtopics here. But the pandemic has started, according to Dr. John Campbell, and he's someone who seems to be taking care of this stuff, as I cough again. And we're all coughing on public transportation. Cough, cough. So anyway, it's time to buy supplies, disinfectant supplies, in self-segregation materials like food, water, filtration systems, whatever. So yeah, that's what's on the mind right now. Let's see how this goes. This is the beginning. Hopefully it's not gonna be too big, but once it hits, look, I'm on a little calm suburban street right now. There's birds chirping, and there's plants, and you've got your lavender plants and your rosemary bushes, your Honda Civic cars and whatever else. Once things get crazy, you're going to trust the structure to get you your supplies when truckers don't want to come into the infected areas, or people are just buying everything that they should have bought a long time ago. They can't make enough. They can't supply enough. Sorry to say, I kind of like this, because it makes me feel, there's a purpose to society. And maybe that is to let a lot of people go. But, your friends and family may be part of that, or you yourself. So anyway, on that note, talk to you guys later.